listening to Crystal Clear Lore, a Wormsong production. October 1765. Marie stepped deeper into the shadowed undergrowth, her basket swinging lightly against her hip, eyes scanning the damp leaf litter for the last of the season's chanterelles. The golden trumpets had been scarce this year, the rains too meager, but hunger pressed harder than caution. She had heard the whispers in the village, attacks in the neighboring parishes, throats torn out, bodies half devoured. The Beast of Gévaudan, they called it now, as if naming the thing made it less monstrous. A wolf, some said. A hellhound, others swore. Marie, barely 23 and widowed these past 6 months, had no one left to share the burden. No husband to hunt, no parents to lean on. The cottage hearth needed fuel, the pot needed filling, and the winter loomed like another predator. She had no choice but to come alone. Her eyes caught the barest glimpse of something golden sticking out of the leaves. She knelt and brushed them aside to reveal a small patch of chanterelles still clinging to life. Their golden caps glowed faintly in the dappled light that pierced the canopy, a rare gift this late in the season. Sighing with relief, she plucked them carefully one by one, tucking each into the basket lined with moss to keep them fresh. The air carried the sharp, earthy scent of pine resin and wet soil. Overhead, the wind sighed through the branches, but the usual chorus of birds had gone strangely quiet. She told herself it was nothing. The cold snap had driven him to hide. That was all. Yet her hands moved faster now, fingers numb from the chill seeping through her woolen sleeves. The village lay a good half-hour's walk behind her, down the twisting path she'd followed since girlhood, and the sun was already sliding toward the western ridges. She would have to grab them all, as she needed enough to trade for a bit of salt or flour, or to dry for the lean months ahead. Marie gathered the last of them with swift, practiced movements. She straightened, brushing dirt from her skirts, and cast one final glance around the dimming glade. The quiet had deepened. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath. Enough, she told herself. The basket was heavier than she'd hoped, and it would see her through a while if she was careful. She slung it over her arm, adjusted the shawl tighter around her shoulders against the creeping autumn chill, and turned onto the familiar path that wound downhill toward the village. The trail was narrow, carpeted with pine needles and the fallen leaves of the season, and her wooden shoes thudded softly against the earth. She walked briskly at first, eager to reach the stone walls and hearth smoke of home before dark fell fully. The sun had dipped behind the ridges now, painting the sky in bruised purples and golds, and long shadows stretched across the path like fingers. Marie kept her eyes on the ground, mindful of roots and stones. She knew every twist of this way by heart. Halfway down, though, where the path steepened and the trees pressed closer, her foot caught on something hidden beneath the leaves. A jutting root, or perhaps a loose rock. She stumbled forward, arms windmilling for balance, but the weight of the basket pulled her off center. She pitched hard to the side, knees striking the damp ground first, then her palms. The basket flew from her grasp and rolled, spilling chanterelles in a bright scatter across the path and into the underbrush. Mushrooms tumbled into the fallen leaves, some crushed beneath her fall, others rolling out of reach. For a moment, Marie stayed on all fours, breath coming in sharp gasps, the sting of her hands and knees registering dimly. The loss of the chanterelles could be devastating, and she sat for a moment trying to compose herself. She lifted her head and froze. The woods had gone utterly still. No birds, no wind, no distant lowing of cattle from the pastures below. Only the faint, wet rustle of leaves settling back into place after her fall, and somewhere deeper in the trees, a low, deliberate sound, like the slow scrape of claws over stone. Marie remained frozen on her hands and knees for only a second longer, heart hammering against her ribs. The scattered chanterelles lay like spilled gold coins across the darkening path, too precious to leave behind, even now. She lunged forward, fingers scrabbling through the leaf litter, snatching up the nearest mushrooms and cramming them back into the overturned basket. Her scraped palms stung, dirt grinding into them, but she ignored it. She had to get them, had to salvage what she could. The winter would not forgive waste. She crawled a step, then another, gathering the brightest caps first, the ones still whole, the ones least bruised. Her breath came in shallow bursts, fogging in the cooling air. The silence pressed in heavier than before, thick and watchful. She reached for a cluster that had rolled halfway under a low fern, her arms stretching out, fingers closing around the damp stems. A low growl rolled out from the trees to her left. It was not loud, just deep, deliberate, vibrating through the ground into her bones. Closer than any wolf she had ever heard, and wrong in a way she could not name. Too guttural, too patient, like something tasting the air before it struck. Marie froze, hand still wrapped around a chanterelle. The mushroom's golden cap trembled slightly in her grip. She did not dare turn her head. The growl came again, slower this time, ending in a soft, wet rasp that might have been anticipation. She snatched the mushroom and threw it into the basket with the others. Then, in one frantic motion, she shoved herself upright, basket clutched to her chest like a shield, and began to run down the path toward the village. The growl began to somehow come from all directions. Marie stopped dead on the path, basket crushed against her chest, the chanterelles inside shifting with a faint, papery rustle that sounded impossibly loud in the sudden stillness. She could see it, tawny and massive, darting between the trunks to her left, then vanishing, only to flicker again on her right, closer now. A glimpse of broad shoulders, a flash of muscle sliding under coarse fur the color of dried blood and old gold. Not a wolf. It was too big. The shape moved with a predator's patience, never fully exposing itself, always just at the edge of sight, as though testing how long she could stand the not knowing. Breathing hard through her mouth, shallow and ragged, Marie kept her eyes locked on the shifting shadow. Every time she tried to track it, it slipped behind another pine or beech, the branches barely trembling. Her pulse thundered in her ears, drowning out the distant village bells that should have been ringing vespers by now. The air tasted metallic, thick with the scent of pine and something warmer, something alive and hungry. She took one careful step backward, then another, heel sliding on the needle-strewn path. The growl answered immediately, deeper this time, ending in a wet, guttural huff that sent a shiver racing down her spine. The tawny shape paused behind a thick trunk, and for the first time she caught the glint of eyes, yellow-green, unblinking, fixed on her with a terrible intelligence. Marie's grip tightened on the basket until it creaked. She could drop it, run unburdened, but she'd starve this winter. She could scream for help, but it was unlikely anyone would hear. Or she could keep moving, one slow foot after the other, pretending the thing was only a trick of the failing light. Marie took another step back, then another, eyes never leaving those yellow-green slits glowing between the trees. The growl swelled again, wrapping around her like smoke, but she forced her legs to move. Slow at first, then faster, backward down the path, one careful foot after the other. The basket dug into her ribs with every breath, the chanterelles inside shifting against her chest. The tawny shape matched her pace, gliding parallel through the underbrush, never quite breaking cover. It was toying with her. She could feel it, the deliberate slowness, the way it let her see just enough to keep the terror fresh. Her shoes slipped on loose needles, but she caught herself, heart lurching, and kept going. The path curved ahead, dipping toward the open slope where the village lights would appear any moment now, if she could just reach the thinning trees. A sudden burst of speed came from the creature, and it lunged half into view, blocking the narrowest part of the trail just ahead. Marie skidded to a stop, breath choking in her throat. For the first time, it stepped fully into a shaft of dying light. It was massive, far larger than any wolf, its shoulders broader than a man's, its chest deeper and barreled. The fur was patchy in places, old scars showing through in pale streaks, and matted with something dark and wet. But it was the face that stole the air from her lungs. The muzzle was too long, too wide, the jaws parted in what should have been a snarl. Instead, the lips peeled back slowly, deliberately, revealing rows of teeth, yellow, jagged, far too many, and the corners of the mouth curled upward in a slow, unmistakable grin. Not just an animal bearing teeth as a threat, a human grin, wicked and knowing, as though the thing understood exactly what fear looked like on her face, and savored it. The eyes narrowed with something like amusement. A low, rumbling sound came from its throat, almost a chuckle, wet and thick. It tilted its head, just slightly, the way a man might when appraising something valuable. Marie's knees buckled for half a heartbeat. She wanted to scream, to drop the basket and run blind, but some stubborn core of her, the same part that had kept gathering mushrooms after her husband's grave was fresh, refused. She clutched her basket of treasures tighter, as if it could anchor her. The creature took one lazy step forward, claws scraping stone beneath the leaves. Marie's breath hitched. She backed away faster now, half stumbling, eyes fixed on that impossible grin. The thing didn't lunge. Instead, it kept pacing her, matching every frantic step with a slow, mocking prowl. It kept just far enough back that she could almost believe she might reach the open slope. Then it spoke. The voice was low, gravelly, layered, as though a man's words had been dragged through wet fur and broken teeth. It wasn't a growl this time, but words, clear and mocking.
"Run, little widow.
it rumbled, the sound curling around her.
You almost made it last time, didn't you? Almost.
Marie's blood turned to ice. She hadn't told anyone, not even the priest, about the night she'd felt watched on the path home from her husband's grave. The way the shadows had seemed to breathe. The way she'd run then, too, heart in her throat, and nothing had followed, or so she'd told herself. The creature's grin widened, splitting further than any animal's mouth should.
You smell the same now. Fear. Salt. Mushrooms.
It tilted its head, sniffing the air theatrically.
And hope. Still clinging to hope. Delicious.
She spun and bolted. The path blurred beneath her, downhill, toward the thinning trees, toward the first stone walls of the fields. Her lungs burned, the basket falling from her side, chanterelles spilling out in golden streaks behind her like a trail of blood. She didn't care. The village lights were closer now, faint orange pinpricks through the dusk. She could hear the murmur of voices, the clatter of a shutter being latched. Safety. Almost. Behind her, the creature laughed.
Almost.
It called after her, voice carrying impossibly far.
Always almost.
She risked a glance over her shoulder. It had stopped. Standing motionless in the middle of the path, massive and tawny, silhouetted against the last smear of sunset, the grin was still there, patient, amused. It lifted one forepaw in a lazy, almost human gesture, a wave, slow and deliberate, as though bidding her farewell. Marie whipped her head forward again, legs pumping harder. The slope leveled out. The first hedgerow loomed ahead. She was going to make it. She had to. Then the growl returned, not from behind, but from the right. From the left. From the trees just beyond the hedgerow she was about to pass. The creature hadn't followed her. It had circled her. She burst through the gap in the hedge, and there it was, perched atop the low stone wall like a sentinel, hindquarters coiled, foreclaws resting lightly on the mossy capstones. The yellow-green eyes gleamed down at her. The grin stretched wider still, lips peeling back until she could see the pink of gums, the gleam of too many teeth.
See?
It said softly, almost tenderly.
You didn't.
Marie skidded to a halt so hard she slid on wet grass. The creature leaned forward just a fraction, muscles rippling under scarred fur.
And
it murmured, voice dropping to a lover's whisper.
Weaving in again.
From the village behind her, the church bell tolled once more, late, slow, mournful. No one came out to save her. The grin never wavered. The creature leaned forward on the stone wall, claws flexing against the moss. Marie stood frozen, her chest heaving, lungs raw from the run. The village was so close. She could hear the faint clink of a milk pail being set down, the low murmur of neighbors exchanging good nights. 20 paces, maybe 15, just past the wall. The creature's voice slithered out again, soft as a lover's promise.
You almost made it, Mary.
She swallowed the scream rising in her throat. Her hand found the small knife at her belt, the one she used to cut herbs, to trim kindling. It felt pitifully small in her palm, but she drew it anyway, knuckles white. The thing laughed. A wet, rolling sound.
Vincent, fight a little. It makes the taste sweeter.
It dropped from the wall in one fluid motion, landing without a sound, paws sinking into the soft earth. Up close it was even larger, shoulders level with her chest, head massive, fur rippling over muscle that shifted like water under skin. The yellow-green eyes never left hers. They held something worse than hunger, recognition, enjoyment. Marie backed up one step, then another. Her shoes scraped the dirt. In a surge of desperate courage, she charged forward, knife raised. The creature leapt aside with unnatural grace, and she was able to nick its shoulder, drawing a thin line of dark blood that gleamed wetly on the tawny fur. It laughed again, that wet, rolling sound, as though the wound were a tickle. The creature mirrored her, advancing with slow, deliberate steps, never rushing.
Run again.
It murmured.
Please. I like the chase.
She turned and bolted. The wall was right there. She scrambled over it, skirts tearing on the rough stones, knife still clutched in her fist. The village path opened before her, lights glowing just ahead. She ran harder than she ever had, legs burning, breath tearing out of her in sobs. Behind her, the growl rose again. Not angry, not urgent, playful. She heard the first leap. The creature cleared the wall in a single bound. She felt the air shift as it landed, felt the ground tremble under its weight. She risked another glance back. It was gaining, effortlessly, almost lazily, each stride covering twice the distance of hers. The grin was still there, wider now, tongue lolling pink and glistening. Mari's foot caught on the rut in the path. She pitched forward, arms flailing, knife flying from her hand to vanish in the grass. She hit the ground hard, cheek scraping dirt, the breath knocked out of her. She tried to crawl, to scream, to do anything. A massive paw slammed down beside her head, claws sinking into the soil inches from her face. Hot breath washed over her neck, reeking of blood and iron and something ancient. The voice came low, right against her ear.
Almost, Mary. Almost.
She twisted, kicking wildly. Her heel connected with something solid and the creature grunted, more amused than hurt. A clawed forelimb hooked around her waist, flipping her onto her back as easily as a child turns a doll. She stared up into those burning eyes, into the grin that now filled her entire world. One paw pressed down on her chest, pinning her. The weight was crushing. Ribs cracking, she gasped, clawing at the furred forearm, nails breaking against hide. The creature lowered its head until its muzzle brushed her throat.
You were always my favorite.
It whispered.
The one who kept coming back to the woods. The one who never quite believed.
Teeth grazed her skin, slow, almost gentle. Then the bite came. Mari's scream was cut short, swallowed by the night. Her body arched once, hands scrabbling uselessly at the dirt, then went still. The beast lifted its head, muzzle dark and wet. It licked its chops once, savoring the taste of salt and fear and hope finally extinguished. Then, with that same wicked grin, it melted back into the shadows, leaving only a broken body on the path, a scattering of golden mushrooms, and the faint echo of a woman who had almost made it home.
Welcome back to Crystal Clear Lore. I'm Crystal Lance, and today we are traveling to France through the magical closet that we are once again in.
Yeah, okay, guys, I went really far into that tunnel we found, and there was a lot more than socks.
There was at least 2 missing gloves.
And a quarter.
Ooh, yeah, the quarter.
I didn't find any pennies, though, so I can't strike it rich anytime soon.
No, because the penny's gone now.
Yeah, rip Penny. Good game. You had a good run, Penny. But this episode is not about pennies.
Nope.
This episode was about the Gévaudan.
The Beast of Gévaudan.
Yeah, the Beast of Gévaudan. I just got wrapped up on that word. It was hard for me to learn, so I'm just going to say it a lot. Gévaudan.
Yeah, Brady is not very linguistically gifted, unfortunately.
Not with French.
That's fair.
I could do other things in French, but we can't. That's not this podcast.
No, it's a different podcast.
Anyway.
All right, so the Beast of Gévaudan, or La Bête de Gévaudan, is from south-central France. Now, Gévaudan is a former province. It no longer exists. RIP. It was a province under the royal French government.
Okay, so it went the way of the penny.
Yeah, it went the way of the penny.
Yeah. Were pennies French?
Not that originally? I know of.
Did that come?
It feels like it was British.
Anyway.
I didn't dig into that. Anyway.
Well, I won't talk about pennies the whole episode, guys. I'm sorry.
So now in modern, I would say Republic France, they don't use provinces anymore. They use departments.
Oh.
So Gévaudan is now the modern department of Lozère and part of Haute-Loire.
All right. If anybody's there or kind of like visits there often or works there or just next to there, just tell us what it's up. Get in the comments.
So the beast was a real thing. This really happened. It's very well documented. It was tawny or russet colored, so like a brownish orange or reddish brown.
Thank you, because that word was like mentioned a lot in the script, and so I just kept thinking, I'm just gonna figure out what that means later.
It's brownish orange. I don't know. It's like a brownish orange color.
Okay, I can kind of see it, like leaves,
Kind of, yeah.
or tobacco.
No, lighter than tobacco in my head.
Oh, okay, so like leaves then.
Yeah,
Okay.
certain leaves. It has dark stripes, especially a dark stripe down its back. The tail is reported to be longer than a wolf's, and it ended like in a tuft,
Oh,
kind of like a
cool.
lion's tail has a little tuft at the end.
You're describing a Pokemon.
Yeah, this might be a Pokemon. I have no idea which
A
one.
Pokemon?
There's like over 600 now. I can't keep up with them all.
There's too many. I only recognize 150, but we don't need to talk about my age.
151, thank you. Does Mew
Okay,
not
okay,
exist
okay.
to you?
You are right, Mew. Mew kind of transcends the
We will
number.
fight. We will fight about Mew.
Mew transcends numbers.
But when I had it in the story that it was like a wolf, but it was too big, apparently this is reported to be the size of a calf or even a young cow.
That's really big.
It's really, really big.
And yeah, that could throw you off seeing like a kind of more canine-looking creature as big as a cow. I would
Yeah,
probably poop my pants.
it's fair.
My goodness.
It seemed to fly or bound across fields to get to its victims.
More poop would come out.
We wear the brown pants for a reason.
You get to wear the brown pants if you're around this department.
The beast was only active for 3 years, from 1764 to 1767.
I'll put the brown pants away, guys.
No brown pants anymore.
It's long gone.
Kind of.
Okay.
Asterisk.
Well, foreshadowing.
Attacks. So those attacks in the 18th century, they covered an area that was like 56 by 50 miles or 90 by 80 kilometers wide. So a pretty big area that it was getting seen around in.
How many minivans is that? I'm an American. I don't use any measurement system. Just tell me how many minivans that is.
I don't know how many minivans are.
How many Big Macs does it take?
At least 4.
Oh, roger that. 10-4.
The number of attacks that were reported do vary because some sources don't have certain ones listed and other ones do, but commonly the estimation is well over 100 attacks
Boy.
in 3 years.
It was at large.
Most
Put it.
most of the victims were killed. Ow. What are you doing?
All right.
That hurt. Slam my...
That was an audio engineering fault.
Ow. Smack me in my face. What was it? Oh, yeah. Okay. The victims were killed via their throat being torn out, much like poor Marie.
Yeah, I don't want to go that way.
So before I start really delving into the timeline, I need to talk about some source notes because this was a very frustrating episode.
How so?
I always try to go back to primary sources as much as possible.
Okay.
And it's a good thing I do because Francois de Beaufort is a commonly cited source for his 1987 work. He is a biologist that studied wolves in France.
He's a wolfie.
Yeah.
A wolfian.
So in 1987, all he published was a 32-page brochure about wolves, and there was no mention of the beast in it.
Well, what the heck?
So that was like something everybody in every source ever had pointed me to. I found the original source. I read it in French and was like, there's
It's
nothing
just about wolves?
about the beast here. What? Yeah, it's all wolves.
Jeez.
Apparently, they are trying to reference his 1,100-page doctoral thesis that came out in 1988 instead.
Oh.
I did not read that.
Oh, yeah, ain't nobody got time for that.
Also, I couldn't find it, to be real.
Hey, if anybody has that, we can just do a rewrap.
I looked at it and went, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to try to hunt. I tried to hunt it down for about 30 minutes, and I was like, you know what? It's 1,100 pages. It's not worth it.
I feel like that's long enough to hunt something like that.
I even had to, I know, for God's forbid, I had to ask AI. I was like, help me find the link to the source. And even the AI was like, I'm sorry, we cannot find it. I'm like, all right.
It just doesn't exist.
It exists.
Just not on the internet.
I would have to get it sent in from France directly to my local library, which does not do international shipping.
Well, guys, write to your congressman about it or something.
But I'm bringing this up. It's very important to check your sources. Go back to the original sources. They didn't even, like, most people were saying it was 87. No, it's 88.
Yeah, you guys think the internet has a lot of misinformation?
Oh my God.
It was even more it was even less regulated. You could just write anything, and if someone found it later in history, they would just think that's the way it is.
Yes, very.
So think about that.
And then the second source that everyone was pointing me to and saying, "Oh, this is a great thing," is Abbé Pierre Porcher compiled a bunch of primary sources in his 1889 book. Oh boy. Histoire de la bête du Gévaudan, véritable flot de Dieu, d'après les documents inédits et authentiques. Authentiques. Sorry.
We.
Or in English, which, okay, I'm going to go back to that. A véritable flot de Dieu. Literally, when I read it the first time, I was like, veritable flea of God. I'm like, I can't be right.
And that's the episode. No. I can't handle any more French. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking.
I was like, that can't be right. Apparently, and it's fleau, it's F-L-E-A-U, means like plague or scourge. And then I thought it meant flea of God. No, it's like plague or scourge of God.
Fleur, like fleur de lis?
No. That's F-L-E-U-R. This is F-L-E-A-U. So like flea, but with a U at the end.
Vowels. I can't do it with their vowels.
Flo.
Guys, okay, think about it this way, okay? I'm from a country where we watch Wheel of Fortune and them vowels cost money. And so the French, they're over here just burning away all the money with all their vowels. They're competing with the Polish.
We're too poor for this. In English, the title is The History of the Beast of Gévaudan, Veritable Plague of God, according to the original authentic documents. This is also another source that's over 1,000 pages.
Yeah.
However,
in French.
Yes, in French. I don't mind the in French part. It's a Romance
that
language.
Makes one of us.
I'm pretty good at translating from Romance languages.
Yeah, I could.
Decent.
Your accent and everything is on point in your pronunciation. But I'm not like an expert, but it sounds good to me.
There we go. It has over 1,000 page documents, so it's not complete. It is definitely skipping some things, and this one, very much from what I could read and get, it has a very heavy religious tone on it. Because he's an abbot.
Don't they all?
Except that Abbé François Fabre found more documents that Abbé Pierre Porcher did not include. It's another 200 pages.
Son of a gun.
He compiled those in 1901. Now, this one, I got to read the whole thing through.
Oh, boy.
And
what a great Tuesday night that must have been.
It's not a Tuesday. It was like 2 nights.
Guys, we used to have a life.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was at one point.
And I'm reading French from the 20th century.
And just yapping into a microphone.
Well, he's the only reason that we know that the beast did actually roam outside Gévaudan and into the neighboring province of Alvoum.
I'm learning French as well as the lore here. This is great.
And then some ages kind of vary on some of the victims too. So something else I got to point out is because things weren't super well documented. They were pretty well documented, but not super well documented. So sometimes the ages are a little wibbly, but I don't want to point out like every little thing that is like, oh, well, this source says this and this source says that, because it'll just slow us down. And I have a lot of attacks to get through. Are you ready?
Go for it.
All right.
This is going to be a doozy.
On to our massive timeline.
Ding, 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 timeline song.
We need to make one.
Guys, I'm not making one. Let's be real.
Aww.
That's why I did one.
Look, You need to email us at wormsongmedia@gmail.com and beg Brady to make a timeline song.
Actually, even better, just make your own mouth version of a timeline song, and I'll pick the best one. 'Cause why not? It's my podcast. Our podcast.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I hope that makes my stupidity crystal clear. Anyway.
The first sighting of this beast was in late spring, early summer of 1764. A young woman tending cattle saw something that was like a wolf, but wasn't a wolf. She was herding cows while this happened. It did try to attack her, but the bulls were able to chase it off twice.
Yeah, those bulls are pretty dangerous.
Yeah, they don't mess around.
They chase off even a beast.
Okay, June 30th, 1764, the first official victim is 14-year-old Jean Boulet.
Poor Jean Boulet. Rip.
Her parish burial entry reads, which I did read this, the year 1764 and the 1st of July was buried Jean Boulet without sacraments, having been killed by the ferocious beast. The next attack happens on August 6th of the same year. 35-year-old Marianne Hebrard was from the hamlet of La Celia, was found with severe trauma to the neck, throat area, and partially devoured.
Yep. I'm starting to see a pattern.
The parish burial here uses strangled as her cause of death. So I looked into that, and at the time, strangled was like just referencing like severe neck or throat trauma.
Oh, okay. So yeah, just kind of
that whole area.
They just kind of generalized into it.
Yes.
That category.
Okay. 2 days later, a 14-year-old girl who lived in the hamlet of Masmejean was mauled to death. On August 25th, a 15-year-old boy was killed while he was herding. September, okay, we are at four victims.
Yeah. And this is one single beast, right?
Yes, one single beast from what we can
Allegedly.
tell, maybe.
Because like in my mind, like, yeah, it would take a pack of wolves really to pull these people down.
Maybe.
And so this thing has just got to be powerful.
Well, except most of these, I mean, you've got teenagers and one woman.
Well, either way,
True.
to take a fully grown human down.
Okay.
I'm drawing a picture in my mind of the size and strength, I guess.
So we're at 4 deaths. September, we have 7 more deaths. Now we're up to 11 deaths.
Dang.
November 16th.
Wait, September
1764.
11 deaths.
1764.
September 11 deaths. You have that's Illuminati confirmed, babe.
Yeah, you're right.
Illuminati confirmed.
November 16th, 1764, a regional newspaper, the Courrier d'Avon, reports on the beast's killings. A week later, the French Gazette republishes the article, which brings widespread attention to the matter. The end of the year, on December 31st, the Bishop of Mende issues a pastoral letter calling for prayers and describing the beast as divine punishment, reflecting growing official concern. Now, this letter is really important because it was timed exactly for the upcoming Feast of Epiphany on January 6th.
Oh.
And
the what of Epiphany?
The feast of Epiphany.
Another feast. It's just feasts throughout every one of these stories.
Catholics love a feast.
That's what we say.
They really do, though.
Well, people love a feast.
That's true.
They just have notable feasts.
They do. Okay, January of 1765. This is a busy month for the beast.
My God, it's hungry, this one.
21 deaths are reported, many of them children.
Well, okay, it was getting lazy.
Yeah.
Going for the small week.
It is winter.
Fair enough.
King Louis XV offers a reward of 6,000 livres, which is about $1 million today, to capture or kill the beast. Captain Jean-Baptiste Duhamel and 40 dragoons were sent shortly after the decree to organize large-scale hunts to kill it.
What's a dragoon?
It is a military rank. I was very confused.
I've heard of this word before, particularly in the video game from PlayStation 1 called Legend of Dragoon. And it's an actual crime that Sony hasn't remade this, but that's a different podcast.
I was thinking about Final Fantasy.
Yeah, and there's also, the Dragoons. And I was thinking Tactics, Final Fantasy Tactics. They had the Dragoons.
God, those were so overpowered. Anyway.
And so I just kind of felt like kind of maybe it was like a class, like a warrior class type of deal. But
it is. It's a mounted infantry.
Oh, okay, cool.
They use horses for travel, but they fight on foot.
Okay, yeah.
They are also, so they're named for their short musket, called a dragon.
Oh,
They're pretty versatile
fascinating.
troops to have. I was very confused reading the sources on this because it kept saying 40 dragons. And I was like, there's no way.
Oh, but it was the pistols. Or
Yes,
the muskets.
it was the muskets. I was like, what do you mean we had 40 dragons hunting it? Like, what kind of, what was happening in France where we had 40 dragons hunting a giant wolf down? What is going on?
Is this a Skyrim? Is this the plot to Skyrim?
It might be the plot to Skyrim. I'm not going to lie.
Okay, well, there you go. Anyway.
So in February, we have 9 more deaths. Now we are at a total of 41 deaths.
Holy moly.
At this point, the professional wolf hunters, oh boy, big name, Jean-Charles Marc-Antoine Vamousel de Enneval and his son Jean-Francois are commissioned by the crown and arrived with trained bloodhounds to track the beast. Yeah.
I'm still hung up on the name.
Jean-Charles Marc-Antoine Vamousel de Enneval.
Nailed it. Good job. I could never.
I
It
might
would take
be.
me a week to figure that one out.
I should preface that I have not studied French in years, and I
I'm
might
in-
be slightly rusty on some of my things. But
I'm impressed. I have to say. Because
in spring of 1765, we now have 21 more deaths.
my God.
So we're
More?
climbing. We're
But
climbing.
More deaths?
So we are right now at least 63. There are some disputed deaths in this time frame.
Just don't even, just it's them. It was the beast.
They're popping up.
Yeah.
One of which of these was an adult male. This is the first adult male that has been reported to be killed. Until now, the other 60 deaths were all women and children.
Fascinating. So it's getting bold.
The
Or desperate.
So in June of 1765, the wolf hunters de Ennevals are replaced by Francois Antoine, maybe? I don't know.
Antoine?
The king's gun bearer and lieutenant of the royal hunt. He arrives in Gévaudan to lead the efforts. There's now been a total of 117 attacks resulting in injury or death.
This is basically the movie Jaws, but not in the water.
No.
I'm starting to realize.
It's just a big giant wolf, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, now
It
we
could be
get
like a dire wolf.
into some drama here.
Mm.
Okay, so it was not just the $1 million that was on the reward from King Louis XV. There was also a lot of other royal accolades and a couple of estates and all this stuff at this point because he wanted it dead.
Yeah,
And
just keep increasing the bounty. Someone will kill it.
And his royal gun bearer was out there leading everything, right?
Yeah.
September 1765, Francois Antoine kills a large gray wolf near the Abbaye des Chazes, which is declared the beast by authorities.
Oh.
The carcass is stuffed and displayed at the royal court in Versailles.
Now, is there any credentials to this being the beast
No,
that
actually.
was killing? Because did the killing continue?
No, but listen to this. A month later, Antoine kills an additional female wolf and her pup believed to be related to the primary beast. With this, King Louis XV says, matters resolved. He withdraws significant royal support, even though 10 more attacks happened this month.
Well, yeah, it's typical.
I'm understanding why the French overthrew their king.
This is typical. It's like any kind of king or freaking leader.
December of 1765, 10 more attacks happen.
It's just too many. It's getting out of hand.
The total's now at 137.
Get the boys. Get the guns. Get the boys.
We're at 137 attacks, at least.
That's what I mean. This is time to get the boys, and you just stake it out.
And the crown says, nope, we're done. We're not helping you anymore. So imagine that. I mean,
Lame.
it'd be really hard to imagine this. I know, in this day and age, that you have a big issue happening in government. It's like, it's fine.
They're just like, yeah, you're good. Don't even worry about it.
So crazy.
How many dead?
Okay.
Some change.
Yeah, it's easy. Don't worry about it.
Rip all of them.
So
That's sad.
the next year, 1766, local authorities request further aid due to another dozen attacks. But the
Goodness.
crown pretty much sits on its royal rear end.
As they do.
And because the king is just like, the beast has already been dead. It's fine.
Yeah, he's like, I did my job.
We're at almost 100.
Don't question me.
We're at like 150 attacks.
This is too many attacks. He's probably blaming it on something else by now.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably like, I don't know, whoever he'd blame it on back then.
Who knows? The English.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
June 1767, 2 more attacks happened early this year. But in a hunt organized on June 19th, the local Marquis d'Apcher hunter Jean Chastel shoots and kills another wolf-like animal on Mount Moshe.
Chad.
It is an autopsy is conducted. The body is sent to the king. I mean, it's decomposed when it arrives. And rewards are distributed by the authorities to Chastel and the other hunters involved in the kill. At this point, there's no more attacks. So I think...
It might have been...
I feel like the gun bearer, what was his name? I forgot. There were so many French names.
Good luck.
Francois Antoine.
Yeah, Francois.
He just killed a wolf and said, we're done.
He's just like, yep. And the king's like, I'll take credit. What's done?
Yeah, it's good. Yay. Look at me and my easy win.
And then well, God, it's probably just like this pack of wolves that they just systematically started thinning.
It only seems like they were able to kill 3 or 4 wolves.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is, but this is where we get to the really theorizing bits that I've been really enjoying.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is where the meat and potatoes comes in, because the aftermath when people are trying to piece everything together.
So what the hell was the beast? Because nobody really knows.
They just knew all these people were dying.
Yeah.
There's no witnesses or anything that could...
There's a few, but the problem is it's getting described as like this giant wolf, right?
Yeah.
It's bigger. It's really aggressive.
Would
Wolves,
they lie?
Well, wolves are not aggressive like this towards humans. They shy away from us.
Could it be like a mountain lion?
No.
Or a panther or something like that?
Maybe.
In that area, I don't know what it would be.
This is what's most likely from everything I
Okay. I'll let you cook. Sorry, I'm enthralled here.
If we're going to science route, it is probably a massive wolf or wolves, or like a wolf-dog hybrid. Now, I have seen a wolf-dog hybrid, and it was bigger than a wolf, and it also wasn't scared of me, and I was maybe 11 when I saw this thing in the fog.
Fair enough. Was that even something they would be like? Is that even a common thing in that area back then?
I mean,
doing the kind of those kind of breeding of dogs.
I would say wolf-dog hybrids at this time were not created due to human interference.
Fair enough. We don't need to go into why.
Because animals be animaling, my guy.
And we can't monetize this episode. No.
If it was a wolf dog, this would kind of explain the lack of fears towards humans. They're big. They can get pretty big depending on the breed.
Yeah, because it was described as like the size of a calf.
Yeah, and
that's pretty heavy.
I've seen a wolf dog that was apparently wild. I didn't know that at the time.
Interesting. That would have been terrifying.
It was very big. It was not tiny. I am from North Idaho. I know what to do with wildlife. I just was very slow. You do not run because it trigger its prey instinct. Just walk and just don't look it in the eyes and just back away slowly. And it didn't kill me. So here I am.
It's making me think of times where like you'd go and meet a new acquaintance or a new friend or something. And you go into their house for the first time and you don't even know. They just have a giant dog.
Yeah.
Bigger than you. And he's just like, oh, he's cool. And the dog's just like, what's up? I'm not going to just eat you. You don't fuck around. And you're like, you just have to look at it and go, yeah, I know.
Could eat you.
I won't fuck around.
I have this little lady, side tangent here, that comes to the library all the time, and she has 2 Great Danes. And they're the sweetest babies, but also I want to ride them into battle.
Yeah. Oh, that's an AI image right there. That should just be the freaking podcast thumbnail. Is you riding 2 Great Danes into battle?
I mean, they're huge. I just like part
just
of me.
Pack of Great Danes.
Part of me wants to ride Great Danes into battle. They're massive babies.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
There is a paranormal aspect to this, and this is another really hotly debated topic, right?
Mm-hmm.
The creature was so intelligent, and it was so out of character. And it was all these things that a lot of speculation could be that it was a werewolf or specifically a loup-garou.
A loup-garou.
A loup-garou.
Ooh, what is a loup-garou?
This is a French basis for our friend the rougarou.
I kind of figured, but I had to ask because you never know.
Yeah, so if you want us to talk more about the loup-garou or the rougarou, go back to episode 2. We cover the rougarou pretty well in depth back there.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a loup-garou episode just to pad the algorithm.
It's like the same
That's
thing.
cheating.
Yeah.
Anyway, but no.
So the creature was described as like really intelligent and elusive.
Yeah.
Like it knew how humans thought.
Oh.
It struck with like a high frequency and it was really brutal. Many victims were decapitated or mutilated in ways that don't resonate with normal animal behavior.
This thing was just murdering.
Yeah,
It
because
was more than just eating.
when a wolf kills something, it usually, it like picks it pretty dang clean. You know what I mean?
Well, it's usually because of the pack, you know.
Yeah.
They'll pick it down to nothing.
Yeah, the bodies here weren't like that.
That is interesting. Normally, any predator won't leave the body unless provoked away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So,
Because there's there's certain predators that will stalk other predators and then chase them away to steal their kill and stuff like that. So, my point is like you're not going to find a lot of bodies
no.
in the wood or in the wilderness ever.
It'd be scattered about too, because wolves especially, and this sounds bad when you're talking about like kids, but like let's say it's a deer, because that's easier for us to cope with.
Yeah.
It rips it apart. Like they usually rip the limbs off and stuff and like spread it out. Very common.
They dig in. They dig into. I think they usually go for the organs first. So
Organs and eyes, yeah.
Yeah.
But everything has got it all centered around the throat. There's no.
That's so weird.
Meaty bits really around the throat.
Well, this keeps just kind of fueling my hypothesis about a cat, like a large cat.
Large cat. Well,
size, okay. Throat, that's common.
That's very
for cats,
common.
for cat attacks. The still thing though is like they're not going to attack if they're not going to eat, unless they're getting provoked.
And most cats,
and they're not just going to go out of their way to go to a village and attack.
Well, and most cats would take their prey into the trees. A lot of cats do that.
And even so, they're not going to be as intelligent to like kind their tactics based on human behavior. They're just going to hunt.
Exactly.
They're just going to take advantage. Which it still kind of sounds like a cat, though, taking advantage of the children and women. Normally, that's another, at least for mountain lions around here, that's a common thing for them, where like they're going to go for a wounded animal, something easy.
Right.
They go for the low-hanging fruit first.
But mountain lions also will not attack a human unless they're really hungry.
That's true.
If they're really hungry, they're not leaving that body behind.
And it is true that you'll usually find neck injuries, but not a direct frontal attack to the throat by a cougar or a panther, because they go for sneak attacks.
Yep, they're ambush predators.
So I guess, okay, then my hypothesis is falling apart. So yeah, I guess what could it be? I mean, it still doesn't sound like a wolf or a pack of wolves.
I mean, it's not acting.
What?
It's not acting like a normal beast.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why.
That's not typical. This seems more like murder for the sake of murder.
So
some kind of revenge or something.
Part of this stuff too, the Bishop of Mende, his letter early on, time specifically for the Epiphany feast, it called the beast divine punishment for their sins.
Oh, that was just said.
There it is.
It's almost like a revenge or something, like a punishment.
So the rural area back then too, I mean, it's like heavily steeped into like folklore and, spirituality.
Yeah.
Supernatural. Superstition, all that stuff. And so some villagers, like at the time, were quoted as believing that it was a hell-sent creature or a cursed individual in beast form.
Okay.
So back in the, 18th century, they're saying that it could be a loup-garou.
I was jokingly in my brain like 4 minutes or 5 minutes ago thinking, it's probably Satan.
Probably Satan.
It's just Satan.
It's just Satan.
Don't even worry. He just comes out every once in a while and chooses France of all places.
Such a weird one to choose.
Gévaudan must really, he just likes it.
There were other reports too that the beast was walking on its 2 rear legs, and the just the cherry on top of the iceberg of is this a werewolf or a loup-garou, is that rumors spread that what killed the beast at the very end was a silver bullet.
That's a little stretchy.
It's a
It's a little
stretchy.
stretchy. Is there anything to corroborate?
There's
that?
nothing to corroborate that, but it does make a good story.
It does make a good story. I like that.
I also
silver bullet theory.
I couldn't find anything to not corroborate that either. Like there was.
Okay, so then it's a possibility.
It's a possibility.
It's a possibility.
It's unlikely. Silver's expensive, but also maybe he had tried shooting it before with a lead bullet and was like, you know what? Screw it. We're going with silver.
The only way to corroborate this without having any proof of the bullet is we need to corroborate. We need to see if obviously the lunar cycle matches up with the attacks.
On June's, well, okay,
so
but
that's a little digging, you know.
A Lugaroo doesn't have to change in the full moon.
And that's what I'm saying. If we want to disprove werewolf,
but not all werewolves have to change exactly on the full moon. Some of them, like the Lugaroo, can change at will.
Oh, fair enough. I guess I was just going with the classical model.
Yes, well,
if you would.
There's a lot of subspecies
Fair
of werewolf. And it's going to take a while. So there's a lot of subspecies. Some, I think, like every form of the werewolf has the heightened power on the full moon, but a lot of them can change and attack outside of that.
Was this canonized by Twilight?
What?
Was this canonized by Twilight?
No, it's not even
the
close.
whole being able to change whenever.
No,
I always remember it has to be the full moon. When did they start doing that?
What? That
we'll
is going to be the werewolf
episode.
I was going to
say, let's save that for a future episode for the werewolf. I'll have many questions.
But I will say, fuck Twilight. No.
Ooh, hot take. Ooh, demonetized.
Look. I was in high school when those books came out, so I understand. I read them.
You just gave away our age again.
But listen.
I'm trying.
I don't.
But you said Twilight.
The werewolves are just not werewolfy. And they do point it out in the final book, if you remember that passage where they talked about the Italian vampires whose name I can't remember, how one of them got attacked by like actual European werewolves. And they were saying like, no, these are way different than what Jacob Black and his little crew. And I'm like, yeah, because they're more like skinwalkers, but not evil. So what the heck, Stephanie Meyer? Also, not a hot take. Screw you, Stephanie Meyer. How dare you take all of the lore from that native tribe and not give them a single dime? That's rude.
Called out. Shots fired.
Anyway, there's my hot take for a minute. I found that out the other day, and I went, she didn't give him a single penny, and the person who told me was like, nah. I went and verified. She didn't give him nothing.
And we're cutting Crystal off the reel. Officially.
I'm upset.
All right.
Rude.
Is there any theories beyond the Lugaroo or the werewolf?
No, that's about it. Otherwise, you have some weird wolf dog hybrid. So personally,
anything way out of the box, like something just completely freaking ridiculous.
Not that I saw.
Like
but
it was the government moonbeams.
I'm gonna be real. After reading so much in French, my brain was fried. But mostly, it's like it could be a werewolf. I honestly, something was wonky about the way it attacked. Something was wonky about the way it acted. It was very methodical in what it was doing.
Perhaps it's an unknown beast that's only named the Beast of Gévaudan.
Well, people even thought that maybe it escaped from like a zoo. Maybe it was like a hyena or a panther or something. But then nothing fit.
If I were an author, I would say it was mutated in a lab as part of an experiment and got out.
In the 18th century?
If I was writing a book about it,
in the 18th
I'm just saying,
century.
if I was writing a book about it, it would be some kind of whimsical tale like that.
Some sci-fi, steampunk stuff.
Yeah, a little bit of bioengineering, a little bit of scary beast attacks.
There you go.
Perfect.
But yeah, it is a very confusing thing because I don't know, nothing fits.
Well, I like this because it might be our first real unsolved mystery episode, technically, because the other ones are pretty... Like, this one's even just called The Beast of Gévaudan. There's not really, there's not a face to it, necessarily.
No.
I mean, you did kind of a description in the story.
Everything I found was pointing towards it being wolfy.
And so there's not really, like, an actual face. It's just kind of a user imagination. We go off of this little bit of information from a hell of a long time ago. from some terrified people who thought they might have saw a big-ass dog.
Or a big-ass wolf. I mean,
and so, God.
It's literally crazy when I was digging into it. There was one source that the first source said that he was counting over 217 attacks.
Wow. See, that's what I mean. And I mean, they can continue now even,
Well, people are saying they're seeing it again, but nothing's been substantiated. So.
Interesting. Well, here's my thing is it clearly happened.
Right.
If there's all those deaths, I mean, how would they lie about that?
Well,
and then you had the king taking credit for its supposed eradication, which didn't actually happen until later down the road.
That tracks.
And then so it's great that it's a mystery, but I really want to know because now, okay, so like there's this is back in 2008, 2009. There was some conspiracy theorists, and they were all talking about like this giant bird that everybody kept seeing.
Oh, yeah.
Big ass bird. And I didn't believe them. I'm like, yeah, right, that's some Art Bell shit.
Fair.
Call in at the middle of the night. Oh, I'm a fucking time traveler, and there's a big bird. And so, no, it turns out like they were finding these fucking things, and they're gigantic and terrifying out in the middle of the South American woods or the jungles and stuff in the Amazon. And I'm just thinking, like, who actually knows what's out there?
We don't know very much.
You can't just catch it all. And there's tons of unsolved, like, disappearances, murders, weird cases like this were just completely abnormal situation, but they had to just say it was like an animal attack.
Right, and it could have been a giant mutation too. Say it was struck with gigantism or something.
Oh, exactly. I mean, yeah, it could be honestly like a higher, I don't know, radiation in the soil.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows, dude? Or in the food supply. We could speculate all day, and that's what I love about these kind of things because you can kind of just make it your own kind of fun.
So
terror, rather,
as much as we were able to clear this up, because it's been like 300 years. There's gonna be a lot we just don't have anymore. But I hope this made the Beast of Gévaudan crystal clear.
I'm going to clarify first. I hope it made the mystery of the Beast of Gévaudan
fair enough
crystal clear, because I don't really think we actually did make the beast itself crystal clear, because you just can't. So
no,
that's up to you folks to do. You have to make that crystal clear with your imagination. So anyway, that was that, and bye.
Follow us on Threads and Insta at Wormsong Media. That's WYRMSONG Media. Want to reach out to us? Email us at wormsongmedia@gmail. Again, that's WYRMSONGMEDIA@gmail.